Hey YouTube, it's been a while, hasn't it? So let's talk autism and ADHD. And since I'm in nature, why not talk about that one? You'll find that a lot of us don't like to wear shoes. In fact, given the choice, we probably didn't want to wear clothes when we were younger. We are utilitarian minded, and being in nature pretty much produces the best natural utility. I mean, it's common sense right there. Like, nature is one of the best working systems out there, period. In fact, I got a little garden right behind me. Yeah. It's actually doing a lot better than this picture is showing. But when it comes to finding any sort of peace, nature is quiet. Nature is subtle. But it's also not duplicitous. You'll find that individuals with autism and ADHD, we tend to prefer the candid. We tend to prefer people that speak exactly what they're thinking. Because what that does is it gives us a pretty clear baseline as to that person's motivations. Because not all motivations are transparent. Not everybody tells you what they're thinking. And we don't operate that way. We're very candid. You'll find that when it comes to conversations in the workplace, one of the biggest challenges that we face isn't that we're completely socially awkward. Well, depends on the person. But we tend to be candid. We tend to be blunt. We tend to speak things as they are. And let's say a system's out of whack, right? Or there's a better way to do it. We'll say it. We won't tiptoe around it. A lot of folks, especially in corporate America, that is not preferred. I know there are many dissenters to that opinion. But the big catch is, when it keeps on happening, and when it's a commonality within the community, such as the neurodivergent community that I belong to, a trend is a trend. See, we don't tiptoe when we present information, we just present the information. We present the findings for the study. But being in nature is calming. It really is. I'm about to do some Wim Hof breathing, some stretching, keep myself up to par. Because that's the thing, autistic and ADHD people, there are many that are just as athletic as I am, if not more. And that comes with the territory. But I want to show you something. Now this is going to look absolutely horrible. For now. Just because I haven't had the chance to prune it. I mean, COVID and sickness and all of that. Take a peek at this. This right here is a tree in my grove. This whole section over here is the grove. This is another tree. It is exactly 21 feet from that fire pit center, which, can you see it? I think so. If not, I'll get closer. That's another tree, exactly 21 feet away, and exactly 12 feet away from those trees. Each tree is 12 foot spaced. And when you take into account all of these, let's see, I want to get a closer look at that fire. Well, you can kind of see the fire pit. You see it's overgrown and all of that, which I need to take care of. But every one of the bushes that fills in the privacy barrier, they're blueberry bushes. Each blueberry bush is a different type of blueberry, from the pink cranberry or pink lemonade to the legacy blues, the ones that you see in all the movies and whatnot, or probably picked as a kid in Oregon. Those are exactly 4 feet apart from each other. And the trees are exactly 12 feet apart from each other and 21 feet away from the center. And they work like clockwork. Plus, I've got a little tree that just happened to be perfectly, like, we have these dead trees in here that we had to clear. Not dead trees, but, how to say this. Originally, this was a dumping ground, and one of those tree branches was still alive, and it grew into this bad boy right here, which also happens to be facing exact due north. So I'm going to call this North Tree, and it's right in front of the two blueberry bushes that I've got. I'll show you. Again, I've got to do a lot of maintenance. I was sick. Okay. I know, excuses. But it's right by a temporary, I'll show you. It's right by a temporary pond which that is due east, that is the sun, and the moon comes around here quite often. And I designed this to be a very romantic Airbnb getaway. Even though I'm working in nature, I'm mathematical in my approach and very analytical, but I'm also tying in my marketing and administrative degrees, specifically marketing and branding background. When we have a passion for something, in my case psychology, we will apply it to wherever we can, because that's our passion. And here I am in nature, designing something that is mathematically symmetric, that just so happened to have the North Tree. Like that, this is the only tree, by the way, that doesn't have fruit on it. Every other tree, every other bush, everything involved with the romantic design of the Airbnb that we're doing, it's edible. And I made sure of it because why not? When you're walking through the grove or just sitting in front of the fire pit, which by the way, I'm also going to create a permanent sofa, meaning sticks, dirt, sticks, dirt, sticks, dirt, and then clover where you're going to sit, grass on the sides. It's going to be natural because it's in balance and it will last forever doing that. And it'll keep coming back each year. So one investment, continual reaping of it. And then of course they get to look at the water during the day, they can see the moon at night, and there will be a privacy barrier all around it. And then if they're getting all cuddly-duddly, if they want to roast a marshmallow and be like, you know what, I want a cherry too, they can walk over to the cherry tree, or the Alberta peach tree, or the nectarine plum. There we go. This one's plum. And then I got the triple apple. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And then I've got a, we've got every different tree is a different tree. And these are all done to be color coordinated. And the blueberries were lined up, except for like the last leftover pink lemonade blueberries. They ripen counterclockwise. That is the level of dedication you get from ADHD and autistic individuals. Plus, we've got one more thing. Hold on a second. I'm going to pause and walk over. Corporal Wells's run. Okay, so check this out. They're going to be bobbing and weaving through here on this little go-kart thing that we have that's electric. And then they're going to make a full circuit around that second water house, around that branch over there. You see that little driveway down here? I guess you can't really see the trees very well. But this is the little driveway that they get the straightaway run on. They do the straightaway run through these little trees. There's 3 of them, all the way through here. They got one more curve right here, and this one right here is aronia berry. There we go. So it's not like the nectarines like you saw behind us, which I did get lazy, and I got 2 nectarines and a yellow plum. But the coolest thing is, when they reach this point, they just circle back around. But I'm going to install an infrared sensor onto the go-kart as well as up here on this tree, so that once they make that run, the infrared will trigger. And I'm going to have to make the sound myself because copyright issues. But you know how in Mario Kart you go through the block and it makes that noise? Where it's like selecting, which shell and all of that you get? Yeah, it's going to do that. It's going to make that noise. And I fully anticipate when people trigger the infrared sound on the go-kart, they're going to speed up. Like, I want it to be fun. Like, this whole property is like edible. I like it. One thing you'll also find about individuals with ADHD and autism is we are kids at heart. Like, that's just how we are. If we can have fun at work, we'll have fun at work, and we'll get it done twice as fast. Ooh, we're going to have a lot of berries. And we call it Corporal Wells's Run because one of our neighbors got the big C, and thankfully he's still with us. He's detoxing, he's making life work. But, it was an homage to him. Same way I'm going to name another part after our forester neighbor, who's actually really cool. Like, you wouldn't think foresters to be like super exciting or like really, really interesting, but he really, really is. And we like to learn. I'm autistic and ADHD, so ADHD, I drive with great sound. You have a wonderful one.